Hey, what up, everybody? Stevie Breach coming to you. Report filed online on the good old dirt sheets that they're going to tinker with the character of Sheamus, but they're going to keep him a babyface. I know there's been a lot of discussion going on about what direction Sheamus is going to be going. It seems like he's really taking it to Mark Henry instead of Mark Henry taking it to him. He is a babyface. He is looked at as that guy that is the face of SmackDown, I guess you can say, the main guy over there. He's really had that position ever since WrestleMania 28 when he beat Daniel Bryan and he won the World Heavyweight Championship. Back when there still was that little bit of a brand split, still keeping things in the WWE together. I really do miss those days when you really could make a second face of the company by having two brands, and this guy stayed on Raw and this guy stayed on SmackDown. That is in the world of just everybody just appearing everywhere on all these TV shows. A lot of guys get lost in the shuffle. I think if you try to make Sheamus out to be like a He-Man kind of guy who just beats up everybody, and he's not afraid to back down from a fight. That reminds me a lot of another guy like John Cena. He's just Sheamus to me. Instead of like John Cena will a lot of times wait for the fight to come to him, and then like as long as we got a problem, let's handle this. He shows up to Monday Night Raw every night. Like if you got a problem and you think that you want to come at me, there's no problem here. We can get this done. Sheamus to me, it seems like he shows up to SmackDown looking for that problem, and that is the like to me what a basically what a heel does. Mark Henry now is getting cheered and people are feeling sympathy for him. And he has this big match coming up at Extreme Rules. With, I guess is going to be some sort of a strap match. I think everybody saw Sheamus. Took the beating on Monday. He got whipped up pretty good. But walking away from it, Sheamus is the guy that everybody hates out of the whole deal. To me, when I saw the picture posted on Facebook of what his back looked like after the segment was over, I had a whole bunch of respect for the guy. But to me, Sheamus will always be that guy that won his first WWE Championship by Cena slipping on the rope. He didn't even beat the guy. Yeah, it was a tables match, and Cena went through the table, but he physically didn't beat him. Cena beat the crap out of him, went up to the top rope for some freaking reason, and just happened to fall off and fall right through the table. It was bum luck. Sheamus had that first run with the WWE Championship, and he had it to the point that they had to drop it because WrestleMania was coming up and they weren't going to have him be the champion. His second WWE Championship run comes up because they don't want to have the title on Cena when he's fighting the Nexus, because they don't want to have Wade Barrett that close to it. I still don't understand why, if you go back to 2010, why he never did become a champion. 2011 was really fun. The long winning streak that was never really talked about with Sheamus. You had to really sort of put it together in your head, trying to think of the last time he had lost a match. Like he had the big match with him and Mark Henry that pushed Mark Henry up to that next limit to become a guy that won the World Heavyweight Championship at SummerSlam 2011, and from there, Sheamus just beat everybody until he got to the title. But to me, like Sheamus, like in between SummerSlam and the Royal Rumble in January, Sheamus had no real feuds. He just sort of showed up and just had, he was always that one guy that was always thrown into a match. Like they had a heel that messed somebody up and they just, filled in the gap with him. It was good for Sheamus finally to reach that point. It looked like they were finally going to give him that ball. After WrestleMania 28, when he had the big win over Daniel Bryan that pissed a lot of people off by getting the title so soon. But to me, it never really got rolling. And from 28 to 29, Sheamus never really got any ground. For WWE to think that Sheamus is going to be able to become that number one face of the company, I think that's a real big mistake. He's good at the point he's at right now, where he's in that high, I guess you can say, he's on the main event scene, but it's not like I would buy anything he's selling at the main event. If they put John Cena versus Sheamus in a main event on pay-per-view, I don't even think I would give that the okay. I don't think there's anybody out there that Sheamus can have a match with in the main event, that last match that's going to end a show, that I'm not going to be scratching my head. I know when WrestleMania 27 was coming around, it was rumored that Sheamus was going to be taking that next step as a character by taking on Undertaker. It was going to help him build up to becoming that monster heel that was to become, but that never really happened. They had the dark match, which turned into the Battle Royal. Sheamus won the United States Championship and was battling against Daniel Bryan. From there, I don't know what the hell happened with him after that thing, but the heel thing never really worked out. He just sort of magically turned into a babyface over time, and you just came to love the guy. But to me, I don't think he's going to be able to take the next step and become that main eventer. What do you guys think? It's just me, but I mean, is there any match out there that is going to highlight a card? Sheamus versus CM Punk, Sheamus versus Undertaker, Sheamus versus John Cena, that is going to make you want to buy a show. It's just me. I don't think it's going to happen. I think he's going to have a long career in WWE. I think he's good in the spot he's at, but for him to think he's going to go any higher, or the company to get behind him and think he's going to be any more, people buy the pennants, people buy the t-shirts, but I don't think people are going to buy a show that he's the main event of. Thanks, everybody. Peace out.